news from Knit Happens Teesside for the 30th week of 2025. The other night at knitting, well, Jill was wearing one of her finished tops, the last one I told you about. And working on the new one. There was a big little person or a little big person there too, and she's dyed her hair red, and we all thought it was really nice, you know, because it's school holidays and you can have a bit of freedom. I remember my daughter getting her ears pierced just before, because her birthday was just before the school left for the summer break, and she wasn't allowed to take part in the sports day because she couldn't take her earrings out. I don't know if it was some sort of a devious plan, because she was quite pleased about that, actually. All them parents staring at you while you're trying to run. Anyway, Helen was working on her baubles. She has plans. I don't know what she's going to be doing when she's finished them off. I don't know if she's got more things to finish or more things to start. We did battle through whether to go to one Costa or another, because the Costa we'd been to lately, well, the manager's a little bit off. So we really like the manager at the other one, but the other one's further away for all of us, and at night they're having roadworks on the major roads. So it was a little bit of an adventure coming home, but that's better than... Oh, and also we have to worry about whether we're going to get a parking ticket or not. Because you have to put your number in the machine, but we're quite certain that the machine's not always connected to the internet. Sometimes me and Jill have both had parking tickets for parking there, even though we were both adamant that we'd put our numbers in. So that's not good, is it? So that's not relaxing and conducive for doing any knitting, really, is it? This is Nutty Hazelnut coffee. Now, I've left my recording a little bit late because I had you know how I gad about all over doing things? Well, this weekend I've been pointing the patio or pointing part of the patio. It's looking really good. It was such a mess, and nobody else ever bothers to weed it but me, or do anything else about it. But because we didn't have anything on, we went and bought some dry mix, and some of it's done and it looks great, so I don't have to be embarrassed about it anymore. So you look out of the kitchen window and that bit's just perfect. But then I've got about about three more times to do. So I don't know when I'll do that, because next weekend, now this is supposed to be about knitting, isn't it? I was working on this shawl, and now I have got onto the, I think this is Hedgehog Fibres Insomnia, because I've been showing you and not telling you what it is. I think that's what it's called, which I found rather funny and rather apt. Though when I'm awake in the middle of the night, I wouldn't sit up and do any knitting as such. Right, so I'm on just that colour now. So I've dropped the orange. There's the orange stripy bit. And then we've got this plain band where there's some buttons to go. Well, I need to find some buttons to go on there. And then this is so that's alternative orange and pink. And then this is Insomnia and pink. And now I'm just on Insomnia. And there's not enough done. Oh, and This bit's not really supposed to be stocking stitch, but who cares? You can't really see yet, can you, how the colours are going to pool. But I very much like it. Now, when I've finished with this colourway, I think I'm going to do another band, which isn't, that wouldn't be like the pattern, which is from Raven Stitch Design Studio. I think I'm going to do a band of orange because I've got quite a lot of that left. So it'll be orange and then mottled and then orange, and I think that might look more balanced anyway. So I was working on that, and I haven't been completely without things to do. I have had my make-alongs to finish. So I had the Tour De Fleece to finish. And I had because this is the Make Orange Great Again, so that's ongoing yet. And I also had the Shark Week. I didn't start Shark Week. It started on the Sunday, but I think I started mine on about the Tuesday when I got my act together. And I made a hen. Oh, what's it? I'll put the name on because I've forgotten it again. Now, the hem on the pattern was made with very chunky yarn, and it was very much bigger, but this is for a baby. So this is made with, I think it's burnout baby cotton, and I think it was Aran. It may have been double knit. And I made the pattern up myself for the wings. I also added more of a tail myself, and I added more of a head myself because the pattern that I used, see, it's got a round base and then it was just straight sides, and it would have finished there and there, which really did look good on the pictures, but I wanted more of a chicken. With it being for a baby, I kind of wanted her to know what it was. A little bit more, maybe. So last night, all I had to do was sew some eyes on. And then my husband put Mission Impossible on, but we didn't watch it all. What else did we watch? Oh yeah, we watched Taylor's Aboard a Narrowboat, which maybe some of you watch because they've got a lot of followers, and they're on the Canal Network in the UK. And the reason I started watching them was because there was a breach, a canal breach, and it was actually on a raised, it was in the winter, and it was on a raised section of the canal where the water just flooded a field. But in some places there's actually houses underneath canals as they go past, which is a bit... Anyway, there was a canal breach and it was big news and everybody was clicking on it. And that was when I found them. But they do such lovely footage. So when you do Shark Week, you're supposed to watch sharky things. I didn't really find anything sharky to watch, and I didn't really sit down for very long to watch anything anyway. So this was really just last night. But I do watch YouTube while I'm working. So I always watch them. I keep up with them because they have nice music, nice drone footage. You see all the countryside. And it's kind of a calm exploration and a view of the country from a different angle than just roads, because you're always on the roads, aren't you? So I watched that one. Now this came up in the Tour De Fleece because each day we logged how much word we'd got and our progress in our group, and it was great to see other people's spinning. But also we answered questions, and one of the questions was, what have you been watching? What do you like to watch when you're spinning or knitting? And one of the others that I watched, so I watched Street Auditors. There's a few big names. I watch Charles Veach and Billy Moore, and I watch My Brakes Don't Work. I think it's called, is it called that? She can't even remember herself what she's called. Is it MKR Audits? So they're two women who do it, and actually on the streets they get so much more stick than the men, because people feel a little bit more like they can, don't they, when it's a woman. They're less wary. I find that just typical, actually. Right, so, and then the other one that I mentioned was Camper Vibe, which are two women that used to live in a camper van, and now they've bought a ruin of a small holding kind of place in Ireland, and they bought it thinking they'd live in the van for a while they sorted it out, and it's become longer term. But one of them has a job and the other one does all the DIY, all the building and planning and filming. They both do a bit of filming, and they work off each other very well and present really well. And they also have nice music and drone footage, which I like. And I just thought I'd let you know a little bit more about what I do when I've got the time and the things that I watch. So actually their cottage has ended up being a major do-up. In fact, I watched them last night and they're digging the floor out. They fixed some of the walls up, but now they're digging the floor out because the floor's not right. It's not level. It's not in the right height. And actually it looked like about 1.5 inches of concrete on soil. What they were digging. So yeah, my husband was there, so I like to listen to things with my headphones on so I don't miss anything. Because when there's noises around, it's not me. I'm not hard of hearing, I'm just easily distracted. So I usually have headphones on when I'm listening to things. And it's like more pin sharp, and you can hear everything. Either that or I'm nosy. Anyhow, so I did mention Shark Week, and I did mention Tour De Fleece. I've got a bit of a query. Somebody might be able to help me here. I have a small niddy noddy that I bought from eBay, and it wasn't very much money. But I've measured around the distance that you would wind, and I get 61 inches or 154 centimetres, round about there. So it's more than a metre, just. Is there supposed to be some leeway? Is that because it'll shrink, or it's less when you take it off? Because I thought, I got a brainwave with being in this group and everybody was measuring yards. Now, working with fabric, I'm used to using yards and metres. For a good while, shops were selling fabric in yards or metres. You could choose which, and they'd have it priced, which was quite good because they were refusing to go with the metres. But metres kind of do make sense, because then you can buy 10 centimetres for a sample, which is, groups of 10s do work. Anyway, that's waffle, isn't it? So I thought, oh, it's a yard. It must be a yard round, but it's not. It's 61 inches. So it's 36 inches is a yard, isn't it? So it's not quite 2 yards, and it's more than 1 metre. So I'm really confused. I don't know if anybody can unconfuse me, but yeah, write it in the comments if you know why. It is from Australia, isn't it? It's an Ashford one. I've seen all sorts of things online about inches being a different size in America and stuff like that. I don't believe it. And miles. Right, where do we start? I'll get them all out. Right. Oh, it's pity you can't see them all on my shawl. We're having a kind of a juicy summerfest kind of colourways going on. So my first one was this one. They all look very similar. Then I did this one, and there was a bit of orange left over, so I did put it in with the other colour. And then I chose this colour. And then I chose mellow yellow, but there's a bit more of that. And then the last one is pretty bright. So this is what I completed during the Tour De Fleece. Now my aim was to spin every day, which I did, and I'm quite happy with the results, but I still have 2 colourways that go with these, so I've got 2 colourways to spin yet, and then I'm going to keep them together and hope, I have to work out the distances and hope to make something using them together, because I chose them all together. I do like to knit garments. Could crochet something. So I'm yeah, well, we'll see, won't we? I'll have to see what I'm going to make then, and it could be a long time before they come back out. So that's me spinning. So that was the Tour De Fleece, which was great, and I was watching other people's videos as well while I was doing it, because you pick up things all the time, don't you? So next week I may have a video. I'm not quite sure whether I'll have a video or not, because I'm going to a wedding and Dolly Daydream is modelling my dress, but I'm not wearing that hat. In fact, I don't think I'm going to wear a hat at all. I hadn't even thought about it till yesterday, and don't see why I should. Even though they quite suit me, I don't think I've got any anywhere. I used to have, but they probably got squashed. And I don't think I want to wear a fascinator, because I think I might look a bit ridiculous. I could wear a chicken. Just wear a chicken on my head. Find a way of like strapping it on. Because to be honest, I am that auntie. It's my niece that's getting married, and I am the auntie who's a little bit different, should we say. I don't think it's me, I think it's them. So wish me luck, because yeah, family wedding next weekend. So I might find something to tell you about, and I will be at knitting on Thursday, so I'll be able to tell you about that, and we'll have to see what happens. So if I'm absent, it's because I've got nothing to report. So I think that's it for this week. There may be some footage of the headland. 600. Can't quite get my head around that. 640. 649. St Hilda becomes Abbess. 700. 800. 900. The year 1000. St Hilda's Church. You'll see that in a minute. Friarage is now derelict, isn't it? Ooh, the Scottish invaded. Town wall completed. Riots. Is that where it dates back to? 1391.
The men of Hartlepool and Scranton.
Hartlepool and Scranton, yeah.
This men come over here.
Well, this was Hartlepool, old Hartlepool, wasn't it? And the town will have been Stranton, because there wouldn't have been as much of the town as there is now. Pilot Pier, 1586, Hartlepool sold. Oof. To a Lord Lumley. Not sure what the wheelchair's about. It's obvious whether you can get up here or not, isn't it?
Scots raided his son and took over.
1644. 1757, John Wesley preached in Hartlepool. So Cuthbert Sharp. 1812, legend of the Hartlepool monkey. Tell you how. Oh, there's a few here. Just go slow over this bit. Queen Victoria's 4th Royal Charter. Bombardment of Hartlepool, where the first soldier died on British soil. Demolition of the Croft. Is that this? Croft Gardens opened. That's this, isn't it? Amalgamation with West Hartlepool, 1967. A lot of cool things happened in 1967. Town Square opened 2006. Is that it? And if we come up here, we might be able to see the church. There's the church. There's the old pothouse, that pub through there. So that's Verrill's, that's the best chippy in town. It's an old water pump. Or it was. And there's St Hilda's. St Hill is... Huh? Cash only at the chippy. That's good. I wonder how many people have to go up the cash point. They're bonny houses, aren't they? So more news, maybe, next week. Oh, went to Oldham, got some yarn.